Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A man learns his fate after being accused of sexual assault. A neighbor's security camera helped the jury reach a verdict.
A busy Rockford street will shut down for months due to construction. We show you the detours to help you get around the project.
And a donation drive is underway to help local families experiencing a crisis. The items most needed to stuff the bus. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
We'll have those stories for you in just a moment, but first, a developing story. As you may have just heard, ABC News is reporting a Manhattan grand jury has voted to indict former President Donald Trump.
There's no information yet about the exact charges. Trump's accused of paying hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels during his 2016 presidential campaign. The indictment is sealed and will likely be announced in the coming days. The former president's reportedly been informed of the indictment. No response from him yet. We'll keep our eyes on this and bring you more information as we get it. A man is found guilty of sexually abusing a Rockford woman in 2021.
57-year-old Kenneth Dandridge was convicted of aggravated criminal sexual abuse and attempted criminal sexual assault. Back in July of 2021, Dandridge followed a 60-year-old woman home from a bar. The 57-year-old snuck up on the victim and attacked her. She fought back and he ran off. A neighbor's surveillance system caught him attacking her on camera. The public were successfully able to identify Dandridge as the attacker. He will be sentenced in May.
A Davis man is dead after a car crash early this morning. Around 5:45, Stephenson County Sheriff's deputies were called to North Davis Road near Walnut Grove Road for a two-vehicle accident. Both cars rolled over. One of the drivers, a 51-year-old man, was ejected. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The other driver, a 19-year-old from Freeport, went to the hospital. He has serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators haven't released a cause for the crash. They say the teenager may have been impaired. He has not been charged. A man is arrested after a police chase early this morning in Rock County. Janesville officers tried to pull a car over near Midvale Drive and Wright Road around 1225. The driver took off. A Beloit police officer advised the vehicle matched the description of one recently stolen. Officers caught up with the car after it drove through Walworth County, entered Illinois, then came back into Wisconsin. State Patrol and Rock County deputies got involved. The chase ended near Janesville. Deputies used a moving roadblock. The suspect's vehicle hit 3 different squad cars near Rockport Park Drive before coming to a stop. The passenger in the vehicle was having some sort of medical event. No word on that person's condition. Police arrested the driver, Bendorf Sassine. He is charged with various crimes, including reckless driving, operating after revocation, and 1 count of first-degree reckless endangering safety. We had sunshine in and out today. Tomorrow will be more clouds than sun with something else to worry about.
As Candace mentioned, severe weather could impact the state line. Let's head back over to the Weather Center. And Candace, how is this all going to time out tomorrow?
Well, guys, that timeline that we're looking at for the highest threat for severe thunderstorms between about 2, 3 o'clock to the west and then through about 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. Couple of rounds of thunderstorms possible going into the early afternoon and then late afternoon and evening. All of northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin under that risk for severe weather. Couple areas kind of highlighted as a higher risk, mostly west of I-39, but everyone needs to make sure that we're paying attention to the forecast for tomorrow because things could turn somewhat dangerous in a hurry by tomorrow evening. We've got clear skies as far as the radar is concerned here tonight. Cloud cover with us. There will be a few isolated thunderstorms that develop after midnight tonight. Not expecting those to be severe, but some small hail possible with some of the stronger cores as those move through. Those will fade and weaken by early tomorrow, although we may see a couple of still scattered showers on and off throughout the morning just as we pull in that moisture. And it may also feel a little more muggy during that time as our dew point temperatures climb. Warm front lifting up to the north of us. We've got first round of some shower and thunderstorm activity moving in this window between about 1 and 3 o'clock. These not looking too severe, but some heavy rainfall possible. We may have to watch and keep a close eye on any stronger storm that could develop for a wind or hail threat going into the early afternoon. But the thinking is that once those storms move out, thunderstorms out in Iowa will quickly quickly form into a line, producing a damaging wind threat between about 4 and 10 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening before we clear things out going into tomorrow night. So what's our greatest risk with these thunderstorms, guys? It's that damaging wind threat, but also hail, heavy rainfall, and isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out going with some of those storms during that late afternoon and evening. So we'll talk about ways to stay prepared going into tomorrow, and then that active pattern even going into next week. That is all coming up a little later.
Thanks, Candace. We'll see you then.
A Rockford road gets a much needed facelift.
Nicole Delgado stopped by a nearby business to learn what workers there think of the project. Nicole?
That's right, guys. The reconstruction starts next week on Charles Street from 28th Street to Parkside Drive. At least one employee who works at the edge of the project believes the short-term inconvenience will lead to a long-term benefit.
Well, I think the road repair is absolutely needed. The sidewalks are crumbling, the street is crumbling, so I look quite forward to that. I'm not sure how much it will impede our business, hopefully not a ton. We're, a very specialty business.
Greg Whitson was born and raised in Rockford. He's worked at Gazzardo Music for more than 40 years. Greg looks forward to the reconstruction of Charles Street. He hopes it makes business better.
I think once it's done, it will actually lift business levels here, I do believe. It'll just be much more accessible, and it's just going to be a nicer environment.
Improvements include everything from traffic signals, a multi-use path, sidewalk replacement, a new concrete curb, and gutters, along with a new storm sewer to help with flooding issues.
The storm drainage will be huge here because we do have trouble when we get heavy rains. And since there's a downhill slope here, I don't believe the drainage is always really good. We've had water issues here.
Greg is happy to see things are being done with his tax dollars. Drivers coming from the north will detour to East State Street, and those coming from the south will shift to Broadway.
Might reroute people a little bit, might reroute myself a little bit for a while, but it'll be worth it in the end.
The city of Rockford says garbage collection, emergency service, and mail delivery will remain unchanged for residents during the closure. The project is expected to last until early fall. Mimi?
All right, thanks for that, Nicole. A new state of Illinois investment means a local community will get some help as it expands its freight capabilities. Rochelle will receive nearly $7 million from the Illinois Competitive Freight Program. The funds will be used for the Northeast Illinois Transload Intermodal Facility. In all, Illinois will invest $200 million in federal dollars in 22 port, rail, and highway projects across the state.
All of these projects announced by the governor today are worthwhile projects for investment. They make the movement of goods and people much more efficient by removing bottlenecks and adding capacity in key strategic locations.
Every year, 1.6 billion tons of freight moves through Illinois. That freight is valued at $2.5 trillion.
Donated baby supplies help Rockford area moms. This is the second annual Stuff the Bus. Mother House Crisis Nursery and Help the Children's Home organized it along with Sam's Club. Rockford Mass Transit parked a 35-foot bus outside the warehouse store. Diapers, baby wipes, baby formula, and children's clothing are some of the most needed items. Last year, Mother House completely filled the bus. The agency hopes to do the same this year.
I think we've all been, many of us anyway, in a parenting role, and we know that it's hard to do it by ourselves. I needed my mom and my sisters, but not everyone has a safe place where they can take their little ones. Everybody needs help along the way, and when we can come out as a community and kind of rally around families who are in need, I think it's a win-win for everyone.
The bus will be back there tomorrow and Saturday. For more information on Mother House, check out this story at mystateline.com.
Lawmakers say they're introducing a bill that would set minimum staffing levels in hospitals.
The Nurse Staffing Standards for Hospital Patient Safety and Quality Care Act is a direct response to the escalating staffing crisis in hospitals across the U.S. Anna Wernicke shares what supporters and opponents have to say.
Standing outside the Capitol on Thursday, nurses joined lawmakers calling for staffing standards at hospitals.
They rescued and saved millions of lives during COVID. We applauded them. We uplifted them. But now we continue to leave them hanging out to dry. because of this safe staffing issue.
New York Democrat Jamal Bowman says he supports legislation to establish a minimum registered nurse to patient ratio in hospitals across the country.
The bill is modeled after a law passed in California in 2004 that set limits on how many patients each type of nurse can be assigned at one time.
We can provide whistleblower protections, and we can invest in the training and career development that hardworking nurses need.
It makes a huge difference.
Deborah Berger with National Nurses United says she worked as a nurse in California before and after the 2004 law.
It also makes a difference on whether they get out of the hospital alive or not.
However, the nursing arm of the American Hospital Association has opposed past regulations. They call ratio requirements ineffective and say the lack of flexibility could hurt patient care. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
A lot to get into over the next 24 hours, although things are going to stay pretty quiet as we go through the night. We've got the cloud cover out there that will remain in place here through this evening. Temperatures will actually climb, however, as a warm front lifts closer to us and our winds pick up from the southeast and then turning to the south later tonight. All of northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin in line for that risk for severe thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, and that risk growing. So let's time this out here over the next 48 hours, because things by this time tomorrow could be looking a lot different and becoming a bit more active. We've got a little drizzle, a few light showers that are possible before midnight, but I think a couple of isolated thunderstorms after midnight, just along that warm front and that warmer air coming in. Some of these stronger cores may have some small hail, but not expecting really any severe weather with those. These will be fading out by early tomorrow morning. We'll keep a couple of scattered showers on and off through the morning just as we pull in that moisture behind that warm front. Temperatures will continue to warm through the 60s, but we may see around kind of this cluster of thunderstorms develop from the west and southwest after noon tomorrow. So that window for that first round of thunderstorm activity moving in between about 1 and 3 o'clock tomorrow. Now, this one, not expecting this to be too severe as this stays elevated. However, if we see that elevated risk turn into more of kind of surface-based thunderstorms, we may have more of a hail and wind threat with that first round of thunderstorms that comes through. So that 1 to 3 o'clock time frame, one I do want to keep an eye on going into tomorrow. But the bigger threat for severe weather coming in later in the day with a second round of thunderstorms that are expected to develop out in Iowa during the afternoon as skies clear out. As those storms cross and near the Mississippi River, they're expected to form into this line. But what we have to watch here west of I-39 are for any of these thunderstorms that may kind of be separate from that line or more of a broken line. Notice as we get through about that 5-6 o'clock hour, lining up from Monroe to Freeport down to Sterling, we've got those storms moving in. These would mostly pose a damaging wind threat, but any individual thunderstorm could have an isolated tornado risk with it. So that is not zero for tomorrow, and that is in play with any thunderstorms during the late afternoon and evening. On the backside of that, cold air quickly rushes in, causes our winds to increase, and we may have a couple of snow showers leading into Saturday morning on the backside. So our first round of thunderstorm activity between 1 and 3, next wave between about 3 and 10, really kind of focused within that 5 to 9 o'clock hour for tomorrow evening. Damaging winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes are possible. Winds will be moving quickly, or storms will be moving quickly from southwest to northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So that doesn't give you a lot of time to react should a warning be issued. So make sure you have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings for tomorrow, and stay updated with the forecast. Things may change a little bit. 44 on Saturday, 60s again by next week.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
The weather could have been better for the Cubs home opener, but the outcome of their game could not have been better this afternoon. They took it to the Brewers behind some great pitching. Cubs starter Marcus Stroman going to go down as the first violator of baseball's pitch clock. In the third inning, he was distracted by a runner at second. Didn't start his delivery within 20 seconds. Home plate umpire Ron Copa awarded a ball to the count on Christian Yelich. That didn't rattle Stroman. He went on to pitch 6 shutout innings. He got the double play there to end the third inning. What a Cubs debut for Dansby Swanson. He had 3 hits here facing Corbin Burns in the 3rd inning. Goes the other way. That brought home a run. There's another Cub making his debut, Trey Mancini. He gets a hit in the 3rd. That brought home Swanson, and the Cubs went up 3-0. Back to Stroman we go. He will whiff William Contreras. He and 3 relievers combined on a shutout as the Cubs defeated the Brewers 4-0. And the White Sox will be playing ball within the hour. They will face the Astros in Houston. Dylan Cease set to take the hill. Pedro Grifol set to make his managerial debut.
Emotions for me, of course. You know, I've been in this game a long time, and I've been wanting to manage for over 20 years. So it's going to be my first game managing in the big leagues. It's special to me, but it's not about me. This is about these players. It's about the work they put in. It's about the goals they want to achieve as a group, the goals they have as individuals.
Well, it didn't take long for Aaron Judge to get back into his home run trot. He went deep in the 1st inning for the Yankees today in their 5-0 win against the Giants. Judge, of course, hit an American League record 62 home runs last season on his way to being named the American League's MVP.
Warning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got mostly cloudy skies out there. We'll see a couple of thunderstorms after midnight tonight. Not expecting those to be severe, but some small hail possible with some of the thunderstorms that form. A few scattered showers early Friday, 2 rounds of thunderstorms early afternoon Friday. Heavy rainfall, some hail and gusty winds possible with those. 2nd round could pose more of a severe risk between about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow evening through about 9, 10 o'clock. Keeping an eye on those. Some snow showers early Saturday.
A lot going on. All right, thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.